everyone, I'm back and I'm here with our friends at PwC, Jim and Dan. How are you all doing?
Great, good to be with you.
Yes, how's your Microsoft Ignite experience going so far?
A great day today, great day yesterday.
Okay, we're keeping it light, we're keeping it cool. So Dan, tell us a little bit about how PwC is helping clients harness AI responsibly, right, at scale. How do you describe PwC's external AI strategy, and where does Microsoft Copilot fit into that?
Yeah. So a part of our external strategy, and Jim will talk about this, is using it ourselves, right? It's important we have conviction that the technology works and you can build industrial strength solutions with it.
Right.
And so we're doing quite a bit of that. When we go into the client work, it's very much about a full stack capability transformation. That's what we're trying to affect.
Okay.
And again, it's really important that we have confidence that the technology works. That's why we partnered with Microsoft. And we've got a strategy discussion about AI. How is it changing the business? How does it change people models? How does it change partnerships? How does it change workflows? And we eventually get into how do you change the technology? That is the most rock solid part of the whole solution.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
You kind of have to take care with the rest of the capability stack because it's so complex.
Yeah.
And starting with Copilot and building in Copilot Studio, it creates advantage for us.
Yeah. I love that you said confidence that the technology works, and that's why you partnered with Microsoft. Like, I think all of y'all watching, keep that in mind. Partner with Microsoft, especially when you're dealing with complex technology here. But for you, Jim, PwC has some of the world's largest Microsoft Copilot deployments, right? And so these are over 230,000 users across 100 countries. What were the goals when you started this journey?
There were probably three ways we looked at this. First, we needed to solve how do you get a technology adoption and a deployment, right? There's just the tech question that Dan brought up. Then there's the how do you instill the AI habit so that people start to use. So adoption has to transition from I got the technology to people now touching it, using it, interacting with it, and getting comfortable. And starting that business change and business transformation. And then the third one is really getting into the actual business process change. As we talked about before, the strategy isn't just go give them a tool and let them run. It is give them a tool to get the habit, then get the business leadership talking about optimization and cross-functional process realignment. And so we're through the first two parts of that and into this business process definition, both for our enterprise back office operation, as well as for our front office and how we deliver to our clients. And that whole journey took us a good 18 months to get through so that you got adoption that sticks and you get measures that you can show value.
Yeah. And I think the key here is one, adoption that sticks, right? And like making that AI habit, right? And I think that's super important, especially for customers, the large scale customers that you all work with.
So just to kind of emphasize the point, just having 230,000 Copilot licenses deployed and in use meant that we had to have the lunch and learns and the video sessions to drive that adoption. We had to get the business comfortable with it. And now we have about 1,000 agents a month being made.
Wow.
We have 25,000 agents deployed and used, about 500,000 hours a month saved. And so that all was just, I'll say the nascent early adoption. Now we're into the back office operation and optimization. And that's the part we can bring to our clients so they know so we can take them through this journey and get to the real business results.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you for sharing so much, especially about adoption, because I think that's where a lot of customers are. You want to meet your customers where they are, right? And a lot of them are in that adoption stage. So for Dan, what have been some of the most impactful outcomes so far from productivity to innovation? Yeah,
there's a lot, and there's a lot talked about how real the results are. And so it's good that we're having this discussion. We have done a lot of work. Again, we've learned lessons doing it to ourselves, and we took that capability into the client work that we do. code generators have been incredible. We're getting 20, 30, 40% efficiencies on how we put big applications into production. That's really expensive knowledge work that we're freeing up to do more and better things. We moved into the front office around customer service solutions. That's really amazing. And what I love about that is it's the interaction between the agents that Jim was talking about and the human representatives that are creating the customer service experience. They started with taking sort of the rules-based tactical context and giving those to the agents to where now we see agents actually coaching the customer service rep on real-time sentiment analysis, behavioral indicators, things that make for better customer engagement and frankly that grow the top line too. So, you can see, 30% efficiencies, but what we're really excited about is the innovation where you're actually selling more with these capabilities. And then it's marching through the rest of the business. CHROs, CFOs, they want to use agents to get more efficient and to help the rest of the business get more intelligent, right? This move beyond just efficiencies, I think is really important because of the adoption point, right? You want people to know that they have a value proposition on the other side of this AI journey, and if they see the pie growing, they're going to get on board, more readily.
Yeah, I mean, we love pie, so we love to see it grow. We love pie, we love to see it grow. And I want to learn a little bit more about PwC's internal success, Stan. So it's also a signal to the market, right? And so how is this experience shaping how you help clients on their own AI transformation journey?
Yeah, it is not easy, right? And again, the technology is good, and it's getting better every single day. There's some hard engineering problems that we had to figure out to get the benefits. We had to pull our best talent into those efforts. It's just not the hardest part. The hardest part is getting people to change the way they've always done the work. So when we show up in the market, if we're doing it the way we've always done it, and they don't see these tools and capabilities changing the client experience, it's a disconnect, right? So it's very important that we not just apply it in certain areas, but we really have to rethink how do we create a differentiated client experience, and it needs to show up in our client base, and it does send that important signal that you're talking about.
Right. And I think that's like super important to think about like the customer experience, because I think what you all have built here is trust, right? Acknowledging that, hey, it's not easy for us as well internally at PwC, so you're open and transparent about that, and then your customers are like, okay, we can trust them because they're open about their experience, so how can we partner together? I think lastly, like what would you both like for the audience to take away from either partnering with PwC or how you all are using AI to go into the next stage of living and working within technology in this era of AI?
I might put a bow on all the comments here, which is that the tech is just the tech, right? We can solve for change management and monitoring and data sovereignty and security.
Right.
There is work to do there. It's not trivial, but it's not hard. And we've been through that journey. We are the customer zero. We started that a couple of years ago and have solved that now in more than 100 countries around the planet. Getting to that business process transformation part is our specialty. Like our superpower in the world is helping clients go through that change. Not just the tech part, that's the easier part, but going through the change of back office operations, innovation, and such. And so I'd say that is what we bring to our clients, and we start with showing them how we did that to ourselves.
I think it's great. Yeah, we've heard recently a lot about frustration related to ROI. It's typically because of how they're going after the results, and it's typically an over-rotation on the tech and an underappreciation for how the rest of the business needs to change, right? The workflow, the behaviors, the muscle memory, the strategy. I mean, it ladders all the way up to the C-suite, thinking differently about how they compete and win in the market. And so the ROI comes when it's that full stack, and it's certainly a bottom up. The citizens own it, but the leaders are leading too, and they're driving the difference.
Yeah, this is incredible because we want to drive a difference, and I think what you all are doing, especially as being like ground zero kind of for using this technology, has been really powerful. You're in over 100 countries, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right? Partnering with Microsoft as well, and I hope you enjoy your Microsoft Ignite experience. Continue to check out PwC sessions here, and take care, everyone. Thank you for watching.